Hello and welcome to our June garden tour. It is in the early morning. I happened to be up before my kids got up, so I figured now would be a great time to do my June garden tour. Here's a quick overview of what our garden is looking like. Definitely needs a lot of TLC. I was very busy in the month of May, and the garden is showing it. All right, so first up this row was our garlic. And as you can see, there's still some garlic, but I have picked a lot of them, especially as you go down here. And this row is needing a revamp. It's like almost entirely level with the ground. I need to build it back up with some compost, and I am putting this garden or this hose in because last year when I got the drip hose, I did not put it on this one because I didn't want to disturb the garlics. So I just left the drip hose with it. Here's one of our cats. Good morning, Milo. But anyway, I left the drip hose on this one, but now that I'm going to be pulling the rest of this garlic this month, I'm going to set up this drip hose to start to use this strip, and I'll probably put some beans like I did last year in here since I already have the posts, some climbing beans. Going to the next row, we got some going to the next row, we have some tomatoes. I have yet to pick an actual tomato that I could eat because we are having some bugs that are eating it as it's green. But hey, I am still hopeful. You probably can't hear him, but Milo's being very loud and crying. But I'm still hopeful that maybe we'll get something that's a little zinnia plant right there that's growing up. But yeah, the tomatoes, I mean, they're looking good. I could probably take some time to trim them up down low, but I've kind of let them do their thing just to see because I've heard people say like you can trim suckers, but that's also just kind of trimming away what could potentially grow. So I was really busy. I've let all my tomatoes do whatever they want except for trying to trim them away from the ground, which again, I need to kind of get going on that and upkeep it. But we got tomatoes. And if I look, so far I don't see any spoil spots or rotting spots or anything from bugs. So maybe we'll actually get some from these guys. Going down here, this guy's in a really rough condition because it kept falling. I finally got a rebar post and it hasn't fallen since. But this guy was apparently very heavy because it would just keep falling over. So it's looking a little rough. I need to trim off some of the dead pieces, but we do have tomatoes in there. And no bugs. I haven't had a huge issue with hornworms or anything besides, like I said, the bugs that are eating the fruit, but no hornworms. I guess that's good. Let's see, we got marigolds, and then this is a tomato as well, but it is not looking half as good as the other ones down here. And I honestly don't know why. I need to double check the label. I'm guessing it's just a different, oh yeah, I think it is a different type of tomato because these look quite different if it'll focus. There we go. Than the other ones. But anyway, it just doesn't look as nice as the other ones, but it's still growing. Next up, we have a zucchini, which is looking really nice and massive. And if you can see in here, let's see if I can get up close. We got some baby zucchini growing in there. But yeah, I picked a lot of zucchini. I think the kind I grew was called Black Beauty. I will definitely be growing it again. Really happy with that, how that produced. Moving on down the line, I have what are these? These are eggplants. I forget what type of eggplants, but a lot of these are mainly eggplants. They're still pretty small, but they are growing. I really need to have some time in the garden, but I really need to build up the soil again because we've had so much rain and just, I think the rain washing it away, but other stuff, of course, is just made all the beds kind of low and deflated or exposing the drip tape. So I really need to build all that back up. And then also we have these two random carrots because I tried to sow and plant or seed a bunch of carrots in this area in the fall and only two of them took. So that's what those two are. And they're looking pretty ready to pick. Moving on, I have some field peas from a friend at church that are looking fantastic. I meant to give them a trellis. That didn't happen, so they are just doing their thing on the ground. Not too bad. This area is just going to get a little bit crazy, but as you can see, we are getting some flowers, so hopefully not too much longer before we get peas. That's super exciting, and I'm curious to see how we like these. Moving right along, these guys are not looking great. However, they are producing, so that's something. This is an Armenian cucumber I wanted to grow because I was told there. Milo, come on, dude, you're like right in the camera. I was told they were more heat tolerant, so I was curious to try them. They look pretty funky, but I actually just tried one the other day, and they do taste like a cucumber. So hopefully, I need to spend some time out here cutting off the sad ones and seeing if it'll continue growing and give us some more, but it is growing and producing, just looking really sad in the process, and it probably could use some fertilizer. Sorry, Milo. Next up is a different type of cucumber. This has given us a lot of cucumbers this spring, like that guy. Not the prettiest cucumber, maybe, but it's a cucumber, and I'm excited because I like growing cucumbers, but I've had a really hard time successfully growing cucumbers. So I have some of it on a trellis, but the majority of it is just trellising on the ground right now because I just didn't have time to put up more trellis. So we'll see which one I like, either going on a vine or on the ground. But oh yeah, with this cucumber plant, we are in the third row. This third row is what we took the potatoes out of, and I just heaped up some compost and have not had time to do anything else with. I really need to plant something here, but I'm not really sure what with at this late in the game. Maybe I'll do some more bush beans. I'm not sure. These are more Black Beauty zucchini. I just picked one from here, so I don't know if we have any getting close to ripe, but it's definitely struggling with vine borers. Thank you so much, vine borers. But with that said, I still am. It still is producing, and it looks really pretty. So, like healthy looking at least this side of it. So I don't know. We'll see if we continue to get anything from that. And then this is I've passed a couple of them, but these are nasturtiums. And I heard people say like, "Oh, grow nasturtiums, you'll never have to plant them again because they go crazy and they take over." And my nasturtiums are just struggling, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This over here, I believe, is dill. I think. Let me see if I can get it to focus on this dead thing. But I let it go to seed. Hello, I think this is dill. It doesn't want to focus, but it's all gone to seed at this point. So I should probably pull it up and save the seed so I don't have dill growing everywhere. This is a marigold I grew, and it's looking great. I've never had much success with marigold plants, but I always just bought them at like Home Depot or Tractor Supply or whatever. But these actually grew from seed this year, and they're looking real good. I honestly haven't done hardly anything with them as far as like pruning them and whatnot. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I haven't done anything, and they still look great. I like the flowers. Moving on to the next row, we have beans. These are going to be asparagus, I'm pretty sure is the type of bean that will trellis where the peas were. So those are coming through. This is parsley that I need to trim down because it's starting to bolt. And that down there is my parsley, that big thing, right? Let me see. There we go. That is one parsley plant that bolted in the early spring and it's gone crazy. So I really don't need that going on right here. So I really need to trim that and keep it manageable or just pull it at this point. And then this is also the old peas. I think this was no, not sugar daddy. I forget. I think it might have been sugar daddy. Anyway, I've been meaning to pull them off the trellis. I just haven't had time. And the beans that I'm going to grow in its place are already coming in. So I need to get going on that. Next is, as I said, where our potatoes were. We pulled it. I put down more compost, and I have not had time to do anything with it. And this, as I said, is the parsley plant. It's insane. Like, it's so massive and crazy and just going everywhere. I need to pull or at least trim it down, but it's a great pollinator as well. I'm always seeing bees and whatnot and butterflies around it. So I feel bad cutting it back, but it's literally like not too bad here because I think I hacked it up one day, but over here it's just like getting so big and long it's falling over into the path. So it's getting a little crazy. More marigolds, and then we're on to the last row of tomatoes. I have one collard in here that's struggling with the bugs, as you can see, but I did spray and pour some BT on it to see if I could save it because collards will grow for, I think the last time I grew collards, it grew for 2 years. It like made it through the summer and gave me another fall and winter crop before it bolted. So I'd like to keep them, but they are struggling. It looks like, if I can really look in there, that the new leaves are growing well, like without the holes in the bugs. So I think the bugs are gone or the worms are gone, but I don't know. We'll see. More tomatoes. This is a celery that is bolting that I should probably trim down. And then we have more tomatoes and a couple more random collards. But as you can see, these are the tomatoes. If you get really close, I think you can kind of see it's spotty and stuff. That's not too bad. But the ones that were spotty before would get holes in them and bugs eating them before it even got close to turning like even a flesh color. But we'll see. I'm really hoping, like I said, I sprayed it with BT, so I'm really hoping we get something from them. And it looks like this is starting to flush. One of these is. So let's look around and see. It's just barely got a flush to it, but it looks like it doesn't have a bug bite. The one behind it, see that? That's the issue I'm having with a lot of the tomatoes. Oops, sorry, the focus went crazy. Is them eating it, but this one doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer to start to get color, and then I'm going to pull that and see if we can actually eat one of our tomatoes. That would be super exciting. Anyway, so that's pretty much all there. Let's back it up. We got, again, a nasturtium that this one's growing, but as you can see, it's growing and struggling. And then there's a lot of okra on this side. We got okra, and another okra, and then I planted sweet potatoes. You can't see this one because something ate the leaves, but here's a look at some sweet potatoes. I planted sweet potato down this row to hopefully kind of take over, cover this bed, and give us some sweet potatoes. We'll see how crazy they go. I think I put 6 starts in this area. We got a pretty zinnia that is opening up, super pretty. And then we have another one of those eggplants right here. I forget why I put just one here, but I had one here. I think I grew this one from seed at a different time as the other ones I showed you. And then this was the onion patch that is almost all picked up. As you can see, I still got some onions. And if you look way down here, past all these weeds that I need to pick from the old spinach, but like, look at these guys. They are looking massive. You have to let me know. As you can see, the tops are just dying. They look so sad. However, they have not bent over, which I was told when onions fall over is when you know they're ready to be picked. And as you can see, they're still sticking straight up. So I've been waiting, but I don't know if I'm just letting it rot or whatever. So if you have any advice, let me know. But these guys, I mean, they're massive for me and what I have grown when it comes to onions in the past. So I'm super excited about these guys. And then these are also onions, but they are not showing anything above ground, which I think is a little weird. So maybe whenever I pull the rest of these onions, I'll just pull these guys up and see what's going on down there. But anyway, that's the last of our onion 2024-2025 patch. Moving on, this used to be our last row that we started or had last year or last winter, I think. Anyway, these are our kale that are doing great. I don't know if just kale is more resistant to the worms and stuff to eat it, but as you can see, they still look great. I rarely have to spray them like I do the collards. This one has a little bit of damage, but I don't know, they just aren't as tasty, I guess, as these collards. Like these are collards, as you can see. Their leaves, if I can focus, I don't know why my camera's struggling, but they are riddled with holes from, again, bugs eating them. But thankfully, looking at the new growth here, I don't see any holes. So hopefully we've solved that issue. Then this wild vine I need to take control of. This is a spaghetti squash or some type of squash, I believe. Oh, and I totally passed over. This is a fennel. Way down there, you can see a fennel that is bolting and is looking like it's dying, but I don't know. I've never grown fennel before, so I don't know if that's just the process to how it looks when it goes to flower. But anyway, look at all of these. They are active today. Yeah, this is some type of squash that is going wild and is mixing with the other one I have over here. As you can see, I think it's spaghetti squash. This one is spaghetti squash. But I don't know what this one is because it has not produced any fruit yet. It is definitely struggling with, again, the vine borers you can see on the stems, but and it is growing, so that's good. And then I almost passed over, but these are 2 more kale, again, riddled with holes from bugs, but new growth is looking good, so I'm excited about that. I think this was a cabbage, but it's not heading up, so I'll probably just end up pulling it and giving it to my pigs. These were broccoli that I let bolt that I also need to pull and just give to the pigs at this point. I think that's an okra, pretty sure. And then this is another cucumber, and I think this is Sweet Success, is it? Yep, Sweet Success. I'll definitely grow this again because this has given us so many cucumbers. Like, look at that pretty boy. I am so excited. I feel like it's been 3-4 years since I've successfully grown cucumbers. It was too late to try last year, and the year before that I failed. And then I think it was the year before that we moved maybe and I didn't try. I forget. It just feels like it's been forever. So I'm excited to be getting cucumbers again. We got another okra there. I think I had one more there, but looking at this, something's ate it. So yay. This is garlic chives. This past month I've been so busy. I have spent very little time in the garden. So
yeah, as you can see, this row right here, just the walkway, desperately needs to be cleaned up and picked and put some mulch down. I just have not had time. Next up, we have a row of peanuts. They're looking super nice. If you look down the row, they're looking really great. Here's a weed of grass I really need to pull. They're starting to flower, as you can see. So I need to add another layer of compost on top to help all the flowers find the ground so they can grow into peanuts. My little companion is back. Hey, buddy. But yeah, they're looking super, super great. And then looking over here, since I'm already here, we have corn. I'll go down the row because the stuff I planted at the very beginning, what do you call it? I started from seed and then put out here. The rest of these I direct sowed. So I'll show you the ones down there in a minute because they are farther along. But this patch I tried to sow, what was it? Job's Tears is a type of corn, but it's like an ornamental corn. And only one like made it. So I'm kind of sad about that. I should put something else in there. Oh, look at this. Here's another zucchini. Think this is I think are they all the ones I grew Black Beauty? I'll have to look over there. But this is a zucchini plant. I planted a bunch here actually, like 4 or 5 of them. As you can see, those are all like dead and shriveled up right there. Let's see what that say. Spineless Beauty zucchini. That's the kind I grew. Anyway, this is the only one right there with that fruit, but this is the only one that made it out of like infancy. So I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why, but one is making it, and that's important. Let's go down the beans. The beans, these are contender and they are producing. I really need to get out here and pick. As you can see, just like a cursory look over here, there are so many that are very, very mature and very, very ready. After I do this video and until my kiddos wake up, I'm going to be picking these beans because there are, hey Milo, there are so many of them walking down this way, just a ton of them. And they're all like all the bush beans are really healthy and producing. And yeah, I need to spend some time out here picking these now that they're ready. Look at those. So, so nice. Anyway, oh yeah, I was going to show you corn right real quick. These are the ones I put out earlier than the others, or I set out because I started them indoors. But look, that is a corn cob. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to corn, but I'm super excited to see that that's a corn cob growing. So yeah, no idea what I'm doing with corn, but that was very exciting to discover. Going on down the row, we have ground cherries that I am struggling to get much out of, but I have eaten a few. So that was exciting. As you can see, they're all dropping. I need to pick them up. Majority of the ones that are dropping are either immature. As you can see, they're still green. You can't eat them if they're green, and you can't just set them on the counter. At least I've tried to just set on the counter and see if they mature. They don't. They just rot. But I need to pick up the other ones and see if they're any good to eat. But I made a reel about some bug that's eating the rest of them. And I think someone told me to spray it with BT too. So maybe I'll try that. Anyway, also something's eating them, eating the leaves. Like, look at this. Blech. Oh, well. Hopefully we get a better crop. Milo, you're just being cute. But hopefully we get a better crop next year. And then I think almost the rest of this, I put more sweet potatoes, 6 more little vining plants. I'm using our feed sacks to suppress weeds here until I get time to put down mulch. And then this is a Christmas lima bean that I really need to get a trellis out for. Again, story of this month, I have not had time. We had 2 trips. We had really busy with the other animals and stuff, so I just have not had much time in the garden, but I hope in June I'll get more time. And then moving on to our very last row, we have pumpkins amidst the weeds. So I on purpose planted my pumpkins and watermelon on the last row, directing all of them to go this way, thinking that'll be like a ground cover. It's an experiment. We'll see how this goes, but they're definitely in the weeds now. But we got lots of pumpkin plants growing here. We're starting to get some flowers from the pumpkins. I haven't seen any actual pumpkins yet, but they're flowering. We have a sad nasturtium again. And then the rest of it is watermelon. I forgot the 2 varieties that I planted, but we got watermelon growing in the weeds. And then more. I think that might be, I forget. This I know is rattlesnake. Sorry, I'm no help, but that is called rattlesnake watermelon, which is very exciting. Look at it growing in there. And then the other one, maybe sugar baby. I don't know. I feel like I said that for a P though. I'm really bad with names, but that's really exciting to see the watermelon are growing. Here's another one. This one's not looking as hot, like, it's kinda growing funky, but hey, a watermelon is a watermelon, who cares how it grows, right? Anyway, that is going to be it for our June garden tour. That's what the garden looks like this month. My arm definitely hurts from holding this for so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what's in the garden. I really hope I spend more time in the garden this month, fill in the spaces that are have nothing growing in it, so we can get some stuff, even if it's just beans, which I feel like is an easy hot weather thing to grow. I will take it. I'll put the beans away in the freezer or give them to the pigs. It's a great way to supplement their feed or whatnot. So I need to get the empty spaces filled and just build up this third row or this first row here because it needs to have something in it. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a peek at my messy little garden and seeing what is growing in it right now. Yeah, with that said, that's going to do it. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.